Let me tell you first of all the physical side before we do the spiritual side. When we're on the other side, there is a statement. It's simple. You go anywhere, they tell you Al-Muslim Akul Muslim. Anywhere you go to, they will tell you a Muslim is the brother of a Muslim. Sir, they didn't allow me. I left that place and walked to a mosque. The only thing I said is Assalamu alaikum. And he looked at me, he said, Mala. He said, Lafiya. I said, Nima tafine. He said, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah.
What is true kindness? Is it giving money? Is it volunteering time? Or is it something deeper, something more profound? True kindness transcends charity. It is about empathy, compassion, and understanding. It's about seeing the humanity in everyone, even those who are different from us. Dr. Yusuf Tund, a young pastor, believed in the power of unity. He dreamed of a world where people celebrated their differences. He envisioned a community where faith fostered love, not division. He felt called to break down the walls of prejudice and build bridges of understanding. He began his mission at home, his own church. Dr. Tund, a man of deep faith and conviction, believed that the walls dividing different religious communities could be broken down. He envisioned a world where people of different faiths could come together, share their beliefs, and work towards common goals. His church, a place of worship and solace, was the starting point of this ambitious journey. He proposed a collaboration with a nearby mosque, an interfaith outreach program. This program aimed to foster understanding and mutual respect between the two communities. Dr. Tund reached out to the mosque's leaders, who were initially hesitant but eventually agreed to meet. The first meeting was a historic moment filled with cautious optimism. Religious leaders from both sides shook hands, symbolizing a tentative step towards unity. He was met with resistance, fear, and suspicion. Many in his congregation were wary of the idea. They questioned the motives behind the collaboration and feared that it might dilute their own religious identity. Community meetings became tense, with concerned faces and heated discussions. The fear of the unknown loomed large, casting a shadow over Dr. Tund's vision. Some saw his idea as radical, even dangerous. They worried that opening their doors to another faith might lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. Skeptical expressions and voices of dissent filled the room. The community was divided, with some members passionately defending the idea of interfaith dialogue, while others vehemently opposed it. The debate raged on, highlighting the deep-seated fears and prejudices that existed. Discouraged but not defeated, Dr. Tund knew he had to try another approach. He spent long hours reflecting on his next steps, writing in his notebook and seeking guidance through prayer. He understood that change would not come easily, and that he needed to build trust within his own community first. Dr. Tund decided to organize smaller, informal gatherings where people could share their concerns and learn more about the Interfaith program. He hoped that by addressing their fears directly, he could slowly win their support and pave the way for a more inclusive future. With a mix of trepidation and hope, he decided to approach the mosque directly. He had never been inside a mosque before. He was unsure of the customs, the etiquette. He was stepping into the unknown, guided only by his faith in humanity. To his surprise, he was welcomed with open arms. The Imam, a kind and gentle man, listened intently to Dr. Tund's vision. He smiled, his eyes twinkling with understanding. He embraced the idea of collaboration, recognizing the shared values of both faiths. Section 6, Beyond the Walls of Religion. In a world often divided by religious beliefs, there are stories that transcend these boundaries, bringing people together in unexpected ways. Together, the pastor and the imam organized a community event. They believed that despite their different faiths, they could foster unity and understanding among their congregations. People from both the church and the mosque came together. It was a sight to behold as individuals from various walks of life, different cultures, and diverse backgrounds gathered with a common purpose. They shared food, stories, and laughter. The event was filled with warmth and camaraderie as people exchanged tales of their lives, their struggles, and their joys. They discovered common ground in their shared humanity. Conversations flowed easily, and barriers that once seemed insurmountable began to crumble. Children played together, oblivious to the differences that separated their parents. Their laughter echoed through the park, a testament to the innocence and purity of youth. Volunteers worked tirelessly to set up the event, decorating the community hall with vibrant colors and symbols from both religions. It was a true collaborative effort showcasing the power of unity. A choir composed of members from both the church and the mosque performed, their voices blending harmoniously. The music transcended language and belief, touching the hearts of all present. Elderly members of the community shared their wisdom, recounting stories of times when such unity seemed impossible. Young adults listened intently, inspired by the tales of resilience and hope. Attendees wrote messages of peace and unity on a large banner, which would later be displayed in both the church and the mosque as a symbol of their commitment to harmony. The event concluded with a group photo, capturing the smiling faces and raised hands of everyone present. It was a moment of triumph, a celebration of what can be achieved when people look beyond their differences. As the sun set over the community center, there was a sense of peace and fulfillment. The event had not only brought people together, but had also planted seeds of lasting friendship and understanding. People exchanged contact information, eager to continue the connections they had made. Plans for future events were already being discussed, with a shared vision of a more united community. A child hugged an adult, a simple yet profound symbol of love and acceptance. It was a reminder that at the core of every religion is the same fundamental principle: love for one another. The lights of the community center turned off, signaling the end of the event. But the impact of the day would linger, a beacon of hope for a future where walls of division are replaced by bridges of understanding. Under a starry night sky, the possibilities seemed endless. Beyond the walls of religion, a new chapter had begun, one where unity and compassion reigned supreme. Section 7, Shared Humanity. In that moment of unity, Dr. Tund witnessed the true meaning of kindness. It wasn't about grand gestures or eloquent speeches. It was about simple acts of human connection. It was about recognizing the spark of divinity in every human being. Section 8, The Power of Simple Gestures. The event was a resounding success. It sparked a dialogue, a sense of community that extended beyond the walls of the church and the mosque. It proved that kindness, even in the smallest gestures, had the power to bridge divides. Section 9, A World United by Kindness. In a world that often feels fragmented and divided, there is a powerful force that has the potential to bring us all together: kindness. This chapter delves into the profound impact that simple acts of kindness can have on individuals and communities alike. Dr. Tund's journey is a testament to the power of kindness. His life story is filled with moments where a single act of compassion changed the course of someone's day or even their life. From helping a stranger in need to organizing community events that bring people together, Dr. Tund has shown that kindness is not just a feeling, but a way of life. It is a reminder that we are all connected, regardless of our religion, ethnicity, or background. When we look beyond our differences and focus on our shared humanity, we realize that we are more alike than we are different. This connection is what makes acts of kindness so powerful. They transcend barriers and bring us closer together. It's a call to action, to choose empathy over apathy, to see the world through the eyes of others, and to understand their struggles and joys. Empathy allows us to connect on a deeper level, fostering a sense of community and belonging. When we choose empathy, we choose to make the world a better place for everyone, to build bridges instead of walls. In a time when division seems to be the norm, building bridges of understanding and cooperation is more important than ever. These bridges are built through acts of kindness, through reaching out to others and offering a helping hand. They are built by listening, by understanding, and by working together towards common goals. In a world often divided, let kindness be our common language, a unifying force. Let it be the thread that weaves us together, creating a tapestry of compassion and understanding. When we choose kindness, we choose to see the best in others, to lift them up, and to create a world where everyone feels valued and respected. So let us all strive to be kind, to spread kindness wherever we go, and to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. The sun beat down on the bustling city. Dr. Tund, a renowned scholar, found himself drawn to a small, unassuming mosque tucked away on a side street. He had travelled the world, his heart heavy with the divisions he witnessed daily. He longed for a moment of peace, a sanctuary for his weary soul. As he approached the mosque's entrance, a wave of uncertainty washed over him. He was a stranger here, unsure of the reception that awaited him. Hesitantly, he knocked on the old wooden door, the sound echoing through the quiet courtyard. Moments later, the door creaked open, revealing a humble caretaker. His eyes were warm and welcoming, his face etched with the wisdom of years spent in service to his faith. With a gentle smile, he greeted Dr. Tund. "Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you." Dr. Tund, touched by the caretaker's genuine warmth, returned the greeting. He felt an immediate sense of tranquility wash over him. It was as if the weight of the world had lifted from his shoulders. The caretaker, sensing Dr. Tund's hesitation, gestured towards the mosque's interior. "Please, come in, brother. You are welcome here." His words, spoken with such sincerity, disarmed Dr. Tund. He stepped inside, the cool air of the mosque, a welcome contrast to the heat outside. The caretaker offered him water and dates, traditional symbols of hospitality and Islamic culture. Dr. Tund accepted gratefully, touched by the man's generosity. As they sat together, a comfortable silence fell between them. Dr. Tund observed the caretaker's quiet devotion as he tended to the mosque. He moved with a grace that spoke of years spent in prayer and reflection. There was a profound sense of peace that radiated from him. Dr. Tund, used to the complexities and arguments of the academic world, found solace in the simplicity of the caretaker's faith. Here in this humble mosque, he felt a sense of belonging he hadn't expected. The afternoon light streamed through the mosque's stained-glass windows, casting colourful patterns on the floor. Dr. Tund, lost in thought, reflected on his unexpected encounter. He had travelled far and wide, searching for answers to life's most perplexing questions, yet here, in this unassuming place, he felt a profound sense of peace. The caretaker's kindness, offered without judgment or expectation, had touched him deeply. It was a simple act of human connection that transcended cultural and religious boundaries. He realized that true belonging wasn't tied to a specific place or belief system. It was about finding connection with another human being, recognizing the shared humanity that bound them together. In that moment, Dr. Tund understood that kindness, compassion, and empathy were the keys to unlocking a more just and compassionate world. The caretaker, sensing Dr. Tund's contemplative mood, smiled gently. "The mosque is a house of God," he said softly, "but it is also a house for all of God's creation." Dr. Tund, deeply moved by the caretaker's words, nodded in agreement. He thought about all the divisions that plagued the world, divisions based on religion, ethnicity, and ideology. Yet here, in this small mosque, he had found common ground with a man from a different background. He realized that kindness was a language understood by all. It was a universal truth that transcended cultural and religious boundaries. A simple act of kindness could have a ripple effect, spreading outwards and touching countless lives. Dr. Tund thought about the words of the Prophet Muhammad. "The most beloved of you to Allah are those who are best in character." Character, he realized, was not about grand gestures or pronouncements. It was about the small, everyday acts of kindness that defined a person's true nature. The caretaker, observing Dr. Tund's thoughtful expression, spoke again. "Kindness," he said, "is a seed that we plant in the hearts of others. It may seem small, but it has the power to grow into something beautiful." Dr. Tund, a scholar of religion, found himself deeply drawn to the profound wisdom embedded within the caretaker's simple yet powerful words. He recalled a verse from the Quran, "And do good. Indeed, Allah loves the doers of good." Quran 2:195. This verse echoed in his mind, reminding him of the universal call to kindness. This message, he realized, resonated across faiths, transcending religious boundaries and uniting people in a shared moral vision. It was a call to action, an invitation to live a life defined by compassion, empathy, and genuine care for others. It was a reminder that true piety lay not just in rituals and prayers, but in the everyday actions and how one treated their fellow human beings. He thought about the countless acts of kindness performed by people of all faiths and backgrounds, acts that often went unnoticed, but were deeply impactful. The volunteers who dedicated their lives to serving others, often sacrificing their own comfort for the well-being of strangers. The strangers who offered a helping hand to those in need without expecting anything in return. The individuals who stood up for justice and equality, fighting for the rights of the marginalized and oppressed. These acts, he realized, were testaments to the inherent goodness that resided within humanity, a reflection of our shared humanity. The caretaker, sensing Dr. Tun's line of thought, nodded slowly, acknowledging the profound connection they both felt. "We are all connected," he said, "like threads in a tapestry, each one of us playing a vital role in the larger picture. What we do to one another, we do to ourselves. Our actions ripple through the fabric of our shared existence, binding us together in a web of mutual responsibility and care." Dr. Tund, deeply moved by their conversation, felt a renewed sense of purpose. He'd always been a man of deep thought, but this moment was different. It was as if a new light had been ignited within him. He had dedicated his life to studying religion, but somewhere along the way he had lost sight of its true essence. The endless pages and ancient texts had become a maze, obscuring the simple truths he once held dear. The caretaker, through his simple acts of kindness and his unwavering faith, had reminded him of the power of human connection. It was these small, everyday gestures that truly embodied the spirit of faith. He realized that religion, at its core, was about building bridges, not walls. It was about creating connections that transcended boundaries and brought people closer together. It was about recognizing the shared humanity that bound people together. Despite their differences, the beauty of diversity lay in the unity it could foster. It was about embracing compassion, empathy, and understanding as guiding principles in life. These values were the true pillars of any faith, guiding people towards a more harmonious existence. Dr. Tun knew that the world needed more individuals like the caretaker, individuals who led with their hearts, who saw the good in others, and who treated everyone with dignity and respect. These were the true leaders, the ones who could inspire real change. He vowed to carry this message of unity and compassion with him, to share it with the world through his teachings and his actions. He understood that his role was not just to educate, but to inspire and uplift. The caretaker, his eyes twinkling with wisdom, placed a hand on Dr. Tund's shoulder. His touch was gentle, yet it carried the weight of profound understanding and shared purpose. "Go forth," he said, "and be a beacon of light in the world." His words echoed in Dr. Tund's mind, a call to action that he knew he must heed. As Dr. Tund stepped out of the mosque, the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. The day was coming to an end, but for Dr. Tund it felt like a new beginning. He took a deep breath, the air filled with the scent of jasmine and the distant call to prayer. It was a moment of serenity, a pause in the chaos of life. He felt a sense of renewal, a lightness in his step that had been absent for far too long. The burdens of the past seemed to lift, replaced by a newfound sense of hope and purpose. He realized that each person had the power to make a difference in the world. It was a profound understanding that even the smallest actions could ripple outwards, touching lives in ways we might never fully comprehend. It wasn't about grand gestures or heroic deeds. It was about the little things, the everyday moments that often go unnoticed, but have the power to change someone's day. It was about the small, everyday acts of kindness that could brighten someone's day, offer a glimmer of hope, or plant the seeds of compassion in another's heart. These moments, though fleeting, could leave a lasting impact. He thought about his students, eager to learn and make their mark on the world. They were the future, and he had the privilege of guiding them. He knew that he had a responsibility to teach them not just about religion, but about the importance of living a life guided by compassion, empathy, and understanding. These were the true lessons that would shape their character. Dr. Tund smiled, a sense of purpose filling his heart. He felt a deep connection to his mission, knowing that he was making a difference. He would share the story of the caretaker and the mosque, a testament to the power of human connection and the transformative nature of kindness. It was a story that needed to be told, a reminder that we are all connected by the threads of compassion and humanity. Dr. Tund walked towards the bustling city, his heart filled with a renewed sense of hope. He knew that the world was full of challenges, but he also knew that it was full of good people, people like the caretaker who dedicated their lives to making the world a better place. He envisioned a world where people looked beyond their differences, where they embraced their shared humanity, and where they treated each other with kindness and respect. It was a world where bridges of understanding replaced walls of division, where compassion triumphed over hate, and where love served as the guiding principle for all. Dr. Tund knew that this vision could become a reality, but it would require a collective effort. It would require each person to examine their own biases, to challenge injustice wherever they saw it, and to extend a hand of friendship to those who were different from them. He closed his eyes, offering a silent prayer for a world united by compassion. a world where kindness prevailed and a world where peace reigned supreme. As Dr. Tun continued on his journey, he carried with him the lessons he had learned from the caretaker and the transformative power of a simple act of kindness. He knew that the path ahead might not be easy, but he was filled with a sense of purpose and a belief in the inherent goodness of humanity. He had witnessed firsthand the power of compassion to bridge divides and heal wounds. He knew that change was possible, one act of kindness at a time. And so he walked on, his heart filled with hope, ready to share the message of unity, love, and compassion with the world. As Salamu Alaikum, peace be upon you, and upon you, dear reader, may peace be upon you too.